car noises. There's no one doing nothing.
All right. So it's been a little while since the last time I went over what happened with the truck. This last weekend we got up here. That is the original steering wheel. Nice. All right. Well, so last weekend we got up here and the guys ripped the interior out of it. So right now the truck's pretty gutted. It's got a center console left. We pulled the rear end back out. That's got to go and get powder coated. But otherwise, there's not a whole lot to it anymore. So the reason we pulled the whole interior out is the truck's going to get mini tubbed. So Braden came back here and took some measurements just to see what we were working with. But got all the plastics out, all the seats. So I'm going to end up selling my original interior out of the truck. It's going to have the rear seats going to get deleted entirely. I have 2 Corbeau seats that are going to go in place of the driver and passenger seat. And then once the tub's done and everything back there is taken care of, we'll figure out what's going to go on. So I think ultimately what we're going to do is in this area, you can't really see. All right, so in this area where the floor drops, typically the seat would be here. You hit the release and the seat would fold flat. So I want to still be able to put things under where the seat was. So I think what we're going to do is probably just build a false floor that comes out to about here, even with the back of where the seat belts are. And then I'll just put a lid with like some quick releases on it off of like a bumper or something. So you just press the button. We'll put some hinges on it and just open up. That way I can keep everything underneath and out of sight. So it won't be an eyesore with the truck loaded up with shit for going away. But yeah. So right now that's what we're working with. Found this little spot. It's not too bad. It's pretty much just surface, but that's the one spot of the floor that we've found that's not as solid as you'd like it to be. But on top of that, my brother got a big block a couple weeks ago, and it came with 4 extra cams. One of these cams is a small block cam, and with the guys doing some research, we had found out that we could run it. It's a dirt track car cam, so we might end up getting a couple little odds and ends and putting the cam in it, probably lifters or I don't know, whatever it's going to need to support it. The motor's got 203,000 miles, I believe. Yeah, there's 203,000 miles on the motor and transmission. So just throw a little cam in it and probably do an exhaust. We'll throw long tubes on it and go from there. But nothing crazy, just something so that the truck kind of sounds the way it looks. So it'll be pretty cool. But aside from that, there's not a whole lot else going on. It's mostly just getting the last finishing things done. Rear end's got to get powder coated, like I said. Braden has to build a drive shaft for the truck. And we got to cut the wheel wells out and do the tub. But aside from that, I don't know if we're getting too far involved after that. We got to see what happens. I don't want the truck to be down forever, but I also don't want to rush it back together. So we might take some time and do a couple extra things so that when the truck does come off the road again for a motor and transmission, chassis-wise, it's pretty solid, pretty done. So, yeah, nothing crazy, but it's going. Baby steps, little pieces at a time to make it not seem so overwhelming. But, yeah, that's what we got going on for now.